the last topic is reading and writing Roman numerals. Let's click it. So this is reading and writing Roman numerals. For that, what are the Hindu-Arabics? These numbers are originated from the India. These are recently used by today's recently used in maths today's. These are the numbers that we're usually using. The 1, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these are the Hindu-Arabic numbers. However, what is a Roman numerals? It is a number system which uses letters to express numbers. So this number system was developed by the Romans. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or the Hindu-Arabic numbers, we are using letters to express numbers. So what are these letters? The Romans used the letters I, B, X, L, C, D, and N. So these 7 letters are commonly used in the Romans time or in Roman numerals. So what are the equivalence value of each letters? So let's start with letter I. Letter I is equals to 1. Letter V is equals to 5. Letter X is equals to 10. L is equals to 50. C is equals to 100. D is equals to 500. M is equals to 1000. Therefore, these 7 letters with their values are 1 equals to 1, I equals to 1, V equals to 5, X equals to 10, L equals to 50, C equals to 100, D equals to 500, and M is equal to 1000. There are 3 rules in reading and writing the Roman numerals. So let's start with the rule number 1. If the larger value is written first followed by the smaller value, then add the values. For example, V and I. What is the equivalent value of V? It is 5. How about I? It is 1. So try to notice who comes first. Letter V. And letter V is a larger than I. So I is the smaller than V. The rule once stated that if the larger number is written first, followed by the smaller value, you have to combine both, or you have to combine the values. So the values V and I, therefore, so add both values. If V is equals to 5 plus 1 equals to I, therefore, V and I is equals to 6. So V and I is equivalent to 6. So another rule, rule number 2. If the value is smaller, is written first followed by, it is followed by not valued. So let's change its followed. Sorry for the typo error, mom. Followed. No. Followed. Okay, again. Rule number 2. If the smaller value is written first followed by the larger value, then do the opposite by the rule number 1. Instead of adding, subtract the smaller from the larger values. For example, I and X. I is equal to 1 and X equals to 10. Observe that the 1, which is the smaller, is written first, followed by the larger value 10. So take note the rules. The rule says that if the smaller value is written first and followed by the second, if larger, then subtract the smaller from larger. What is smaller? 10. So therefore, subtract the values 1 minus 10. So if 1 minus 10 it shows negative, diba? And the difference is negative. The rule says they subtract the larger from the smaller from the larger for 10 minus 1. So you have to interchange this so that you may. So you subtract the larger x x minus I 10 minus 1. Okay, let's adjust this one. So let's go back. So x minus 1 equals to 9. So subtract the smaller value to 1. So again, if the smaller value is written first and followed by larger number, you have to subtract the larger value to the smaller number, and that's the equivalence of that numeral form. Okay, so 1x equals to 9. The last rule is the capital letter I, X, C, and M are the only letters that can be repeated no more than 3 times. So only I, X, C, and M can be repeated, but only 3 times. So, example, C, C, V, I. So what is the equivalence of these? So C can be repeated because it's in the rule. So C is just simply combined. So C is 100, V is 5, and I is 1. Just simply combine and look at this form. Try to look at if the first letter is bigger or larger. C and C, they are equivalent. Just simply add this. So C is larger than V, right? So just simply add this. V is larger than I, right? So just simply add everything. So C is 100 plus another 100 equals 200. So these are combined. So C 100 plus 100 plus V plus 1 plus another 1 plus 1. So 100 plus 100 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 208. So this is how. So first thing to do, you have to observe the numerical form from rule 1 to rule 3. Okay, so if the letters are written, if the larger is written first or the smaller, remember if the larger is written first and smaller, then you have to add. It's smaller written than is written first followed by the larger, then you have to subtract it. Okay, so it is. So let's do this. V11. So V is equivalent to 5. 1 I is 1. So V is written first, which is larger than 1. So you have to simply add this. 5 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 7. Next is x1v. So you have to try to look at x is larger than 1. Just simply add it, x plus 1. But I is smaller than v. You just cannot add 1 plus v. So 1 I is equals to 1, v is equals to 5. You cannot add this 1 plus 5 because 1 is written first, which is smaller than the larger value of v. You have to simply subtract first. 5 minus 1 equals to 4 plus the higher value x, which is 10. Therefore, the result is 14. Okay, repeat. 10 plus 1 is 11. But you cannot simply plus 5 16 because 1 is written first, which is smaller, followed by the larger V5. So you have to subtract it first, then add to the value x, which is 10. So 40. Next is LXX. So x can be repeated. So 50 plus 10 plus 10 equals to 70. Another one, MCDV. So M is equals to 1000 plus C. M is larger than C, so you can add that. But C is smaller than D, you cannot add that. So first thing to do, you have to find which value will be subtracted first, then add to the next values or the following values. So C is smaller than D. So this is 100. This is 500. Just simply subtract 500 minus 100 is 400. Then try to look at D is higher than B. So you just simply add the remaining values M and B. So 1000 plus 400 plus 5 equals to, it's not 1005, it is 1405. Sorry for the typo error. 405. Okay, let's try this in Roman numeral. Write this in Roman. 1 and 1. So just simply add it. It is 2, right? So this one, 155, right in the Roman numerals. So CLB, why CLB? Because C is 100 plus 50L plus B equals 155. You simply add this. Why? Because C is greater than L is greater than B. Therefore, you add everything. Next is 494. 494. 494. So, you cannot write it four C's because you can only repeat C at 3 times only, maximum of 3. So therefore, you have to subtract 500 and 100 to becomes 400. So D is 500, C is 100. So 500 minus 100 is 400. So 90 is CX. Why you cannot write X? I L on it, then 4X because X, or you can repeat X. Okay, 100 minus X is 90. 4 becomes 1. Therefore, this is how we write Roman numeral 494. Is 2,868. So 2,000 is 2m because 1m is 1,000. So 1,000 plus 1,000 is 2,800. D plus 3 is 500. C is times 3 equals to 3. It is 800 in all. DCC plus X is 10. Then V is I is 3. Therefore, CCCLX. So that's how we end my report. Thank you for listening. God bless you.